After staying in Washington State for about 2 months, we have finally left, and we are now in Idaho, really close to Canada, only about 70 miles away. And Jenni found for us this awesome campsite that is managed by the Idaho Fish and Game, and it's just this beautiful lake called, what's it called, Jenni? Pend Oreille. It's pronounced completely different than what how it's spelled because it's a French word, but yeah, Lake Pend Oreille is incredibly beautiful, and unfortunately there's only a 3-day stay limit here, but that's just long enough for us to get a taste of the beautiful scenery and to go on an adventure here. I'm finally getting over my cold. I'm still sick, but I'm not bedridden anymore, so thank you all for the well wishes. I really appreciate it. It's very nice of all of you. And today we are going to take Alice the adventure cat for her second training hike. And also, this might be ill-advised because there's only 2 of us, but we're also taking Sweetie because she hasn't been on an adventure with us for a little while, and we feel bad about that. So one of us is going to have to handle the dog, one of us is going to have to handle the kitten, and somehow also a camera or something. So we'll figure it out, though.
Just as an update, before we head out and go on our second hike with Alice, the adventure kitten in training, what we didn't mention in the first video that we had her in is that she had fleas when we got her. We got her August 31st, and she only had fleas for 3 days while we had her. We gave her Dawn dish soap baths twice a day, and we thoroughly eradicated them. Apparently Dawn dish soap suffocates them or something like that. So she's officially flea-free. She is actually also potty trained. It was very easy. And she's currently 6.5 weeks old, almost 7 weeks old, and we have had her for 2 weeks and 1 day, as of today that we're filming this. Alice also gets along brilliantly with Sweetie. They are like best friends. We call Sweetie her dog mom because Sweetie is so good with her, and she just adores Sweetie. Sweetie will come up and start licking her or something, and Alice starts purring. She loves Sweetie so much. It is absolutely adorable. And when it comes to Butters, Butters was actually really upset for a little while. She stopped eating, and that had us really worried, so we started the introduction process between them all over. And luckily Butters is not only eating, but eating her food too. And they are both using litter boxes together, surprisingly. And Butters doesn't seem to hate her. I think she's pretty comfortable with us so far. Whoop. And she's also very frisky. We're gonna go ahead and try and burn off some of this frisk by taking her on this hike. I think it is time to go, and hopefully we can train her. We did get her a harness with a little leash, and she's all right on it. We'll see how it goes today though, because this hike is just as long as the last one, and I hope to have her on the trail more.
We are doing the Chilco Mountain Trail. It's a 3.6 mile in and out trail. It's a little on the difficult side because of the elevation gain of 1,600 feet. And it's just been up the whole way. Very steep incline the whole way. But Sweetie and Alice have both been doing excellent, but we're stopping for our first water break for Sweetie and food break for Alice because she was getting pretty frisky. And that's typically a sign that she's hungry or thirsty. So we're getting everyone water, and then we're gonna head back out. Sweetie is being a trooper because in her pack, she's carrying her water. She's carrying her food for when we get to the top of this trail, and she's also carrying little Alice's food. So she's being a good girl. So Sweetie does this hilarious thing while we're on trails. If we've got her off leash and she's just kind of, burning ahead and she gets too far ahead, or one of us is just too far behind, she'll just stop. We won't have to say anything, and she'll look behind and just look at us like, are you guys coming? And she'll just stand there and wait. And it's incredible because neither of us taught her to do that. She just, I don't know, she's just a really good trail dog. Hike and hound.
Hike and hound.
Hike and hound. Hike and hound Sweetie has always been great on the trail. She sticks with us whether on or off leash. Alice the adventure kitten in training, though, is still a bit of a wild card, but hopefully she follows Big Sister's lead. If she can ever stay awake, that is. All but the last quarter mile of the Chilco Mountain Trail is through thick forest with little variety. However, the end is some of the oddest terrain we've ever traversed. The trail transforms from smooth, packed dirt to loose rocks the size of grapefruits and larger, requiring quite a scramble. Sweetie handled it no problem, and even little Alice squirmed loose from Jenni's arms to clamber from rock to rock. This little creature is packed with kitten curiosity and a zest for exploration, which can only be soothed by a nature adventure. As we approached the top, the terrain returned mostly to dirt and grass, and we were rewarded with an incredible 360-degree view of the valleys below us. But the very best views are seen from the skies.
Alice has done excellent on this hike. Now, I mean, she slept for most of it, but she slept and was carried for most of it. But the parts where she did get out and want to wander around, she was pretty good. She didn't really resist her harness or me, nudging her with a leash a little bit. So she did really good, and I'm really excited about that. Alice finished eating and then was exploring a little bit and then just literally crawled into my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And she's asleep now.
It's pretty chilly up here. The wind is going, because it's mid-September in northern Idaho. We're really close to Canada, and we're actually really high elevation right here. Isn't it like 6,000 feet we're at right now? Yeah, so it's really chilly. That little kitten got cold fast.
Yes.
But up here is like a whole bunch of wreckage from I'm assuming is an old fire lookout, because there's just this awesome 360-degree view. This would be like the perfect place for a national forest fire lookout. So we're thinking that's what was up here. But we've been up here for about an hour now, and we're freezing. And so we're gonna head back. This is an in and out trail, so the way back is the same as the way in.
We had a great day today hiking Chilco Mountain Trail. Sweetie is dead tired, rightfully so, because she went on a 4-mile hike and was a very good girl. David and I are very tired, again, rightfully so, because we had a good workout. But Alice is not tired. And it makes sense because she decided to sleep in the pack all day. So she's very hyper. But we're back home now, and we have to hurry up and get the RV ready and go to bed because it is already pretty late, and we have to leave tomorrow morning. We've actually only been in this site this is going to be our 3rd night. Where we're camping is a free site, but it has a 3-night camping limit. So this is the shortest we've ever stayed anywhere, and it feels very rushed. So yeah, but I am still gonna do a campsite review, so look for that. And we are gonna hurry up and get the RV ready and go to bed.
RV's all set to go, and it's a good thing that we're leaving today because it rained all night last night and it's supposed to rain off and on today. So with us only getting 3 days at this site, the fact that we adventured yesterday was like the perfect day. The weather was nearly perfect for that, so timing lined up pretty good. But we're heading south now. Our plans from here on out is to just kind of slowly, well, I guess kind of quickly meander south because it's middle of September and the temperatures are starting to get really cold. We like to stay where the highs are in the 70s and the lows are in the 50s and 40s. So we just kind of move with the temperature, and with it kind of approaching winter, we got to start heading south. So today we're driving 400 or so miles down into the middle of Idaho, where it's supposed to be just a little bit warmer. And from there, we're going to go to southern Idaho, then into Utah and New Mexico, and end up in Yuma, Arizona for the winter. And that's kind of our rough plan so far. We stopped to dump our tanks at this really nice dump station at Bonner County Fairgrounds, just 22 miles from our campsite. Jenni found it on rvdumpsites.net. It's a really nice dump station, and best part is it's free. We've kind of found that these dump stations at fairgrounds, for some reason, tend to be free. I'm not sure why, but we've come to many fairgrounds now that have free freshwater fill and free dump, so that's very appreciated. And the nice thing about dumping our RV is that we don't have a black tank. We just have our black tank tied into our gray tank for one huge gray tank because we have a composting toilet. So no sewage. And since we're driving about 400 miles today, we're also dumping our freshwater out of our freshwater tank so that we don't have to haul around all that water weight and burn extra diesel because of that. So we're driving down the highway and we spot this giant ram head with horns behind us, and we're like, okay, I gotta stop and look at this thing. Best part is it's for sale. So like me and Jenni, we're gonna get it. We're gonna mount it like right up on top of the roof of the RV. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Just imagine driving down the road and this huge thing is up on top of the RV. Oh, we'll look so awesome. Yeah.
No.
It's happening.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it is. I'll make it happen.
No, it's not. This is not coming with us. It's probably very heavy, and I didn't even want to stop here. David decided we got 2 miles down the road and he decided he had to turn around.
I gotta turn back and look at this thing.
All right, we're leaving now though. We saw it, we're leaving.
Well, we found another place to fill up our freshwater at for free. Jenni found another dump station at another fairground, and it's about halfway along the way. It was the closest place that we could find that had, you know, a lot of reviews, so we knew for sure that there was fresh water, drinking water for us to fill. Because sometimes, you know, if we show up to a site and there isn't any, or like a dump station or something, and there are no reviews on it, then we've shown up places where the fresh water is turned off, or the dump station has been sealed or something. So if there's somewhere that we know for sure we can get water at and dump, then that's where we go, even if it's a little further away. We've still got 160 miles to go before we get to our site, which kind of stinks, because that means we have to haul 54 gallons of water extra there, which is about 400 pounds worth of water. So it does, you know, wear the tires a little much. It's harder on the truck. We get less fuel mileage, but we would rather have water than not have water. So we're filling up here.
Travel days are always a bit of an ordeal for us. Dumping our tanks, finding fresh water, and hours upon hours of driving consumes the day. But we're always rewarded by the great American landscapes we pass through, like the endless fields of Idaho gold. Alice handles travel like a champ, switching between states of comatose and extreme friskiness without warning. She even snuggled up next to Sister for a snooze. Shockingly, Butters even allowed for a bit of a kitten cuddle. Near our destination, the landscape drastically changed from rolling flax and wheat fields to stunning mountain river valleys. And as the sun set, we were left to climb the National Forest mountains in the dark.
We unfortunately got to our site at Goose Lake in the Payette National Forest just right at nightfall, So it was completely dark when we were pulling in, which is not what we had planned. We were hoping we would get here with just a sliver of daylight left so that we could, scope out the sites and pick the one that was best for us. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. So kind of the first good site we came across, we just took, and I think it's going to work out pretty well because it's a nice big site. It's open to the sky, and we were able to point the solar panels south to capture the most sunlight. So we think it's going to work out anyway. But it was just such a long drive. We hauled almost 400 miles today, which is quite a bit longer than we usually want to do. Typically want to keep it to about 300 miles because it takes us about 8 hours to go 300 miles with stops for fuel and water, or if we need to go to the grocery store or something.
Our drive here was actually a pretty pleasant drive, and we were pleasantly surprised that Alice cuddled up next to Butters in the truck. It blew our minds, and Butters was okay with it for a little while, actually, probably for like an hour or so before she got upset, and then we separated them. But it gave us a little hope, and then we got home, and Alice was just super frisky, running around the RV, and Butters got super intrigued, and they ended up playing together. Like, I don't know if they're gonna get along, but that was awesome, and I hope they get along. I don't think that we have to worry at all about her and Sweetie getting along, though, because Alice seeks Sweetie out. Like, she crawled into the backseat of the truck in order to cuddle up next to Sweetie on the drive, too. It was really cute. So I'm really hoping that Alice is great friends with Sweetie and great friends with Butters, because Sweetie and Butters are not great friends. That way they both each have a great friend.
Despite the fact that we got to our new site here after dark and it was completely pitch black, we could already tell that it is absolutely gorgeous here, and I so badly wanted to be able to show you, but it's just gonna have to wait till next time. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye!
Good night, Alice.
I'm so tired.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like our stuff, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. It helps us out tremendously and allows us to continue making videos. See you next time.